Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to the Retro Legion. Today, we got an R36 Plus. Now, if you look back at my videos, I did a review on a purple R36S. This would be the R36 Plus. This is going to be your game console $30 version of the Powkiddy RGB 20SX. Okay? That's what this is. Whereas this is what, 60 to 80 bucks? This is 30 bucks. So, we're going to look at some differences in them. Let's get it cracked open. I don't typically do unboxings, but I didn't have it out before I started the video. Typical bullshit. Alright, let's whip it out the bag. I've already looked at it, so everything that's wrong with it, I already know about it, and I'm going to cover it, and there is shit wrong with it. So here we go. So, next to each other, very close to the same exact size. Let's see if I can't lower the bright. You know, I'm just going to kill this one. I don't even have an SD card in it. Hold on a second. Let it die out. Or it's restarting. Okay. Alright. Damn it, it is restarting. Of course. Anyway, we're just going to keep going and I'll do it in a minute. So, R36 Plus, RGB 20SX. If you bring that down below and cut the top off, it'll be very, very close. Let me kill this. Actually, you know what I can do? Where is... Let me find the brightness settings real quick. Here we go. I'll just kill the brightness on this one. Ooh. Yeah, so you know, all the way bright is like, or lowest level of brightness is off on this. But let's back up. Okay, so we'll keep it at that. Anyway, so like I was saying, if you take this, drop it down here, cut the top off, you have an RGB 20SX. God, I really got all kinds. There's all kinds of like plasticky shit on the screen. So back to it. Speakers, same spot, same looking speaker grill. Let's turn it to the side. Same placement. Of course, this button's a little bit bigger. Jump to the other side. Same placement, just different shapes. Up, first difference, no HDMI out on the top. And nothing, no HDMI out on the bottom. So, that's an odd difference. That these are above the jack and these are below. So let's go to the back. Big old cheap looking horribly placed sticker on this one. Normal sticker on that one. Buttons are very close to the same. At least the back buttons. And I'm getting fingerprints all over the RGB 36. These flare out a little more. R36 buttons, back buttons are a lot louder. These buttons are about the same. D-pad's a little stiffer on the R36 Pro than the 20SX. I like the D-pad better on the 20SX. Same with the sticks. They're a lot stiffer over here. And they're louder. The click is louder on the R36 Pro. But these have less of a clacking sound when you flick them. Let's kick this one on. Little green light. Same thing. Little green light. R36 Plus. Little quality control stickers on it all over this damn thing. And you're going to find out that that's bullshit. That these little stickers that they put on them are, you know, saying that someone's looked at this and it's fine and functions properly and it's been thoroughly checked out. That's horseshit on this one. Alright, let's go in and lower the brightness. I don't want to take the brightness all the way down. Alright. So, well, hell, let's do brightness on, what, 1 for both of these and see. Okay, that's 1 of 10. One of 10. So this is brighter, but they both shut all the way off at 0. All the way up. All the way up. Yeah, the R36 Plus is brighter. It gets about as dim as the other one. Weight-wise, the R36 Plus is a little heavier. I have scales, guys. I don't feel like pulling out a scale and setting it up because my scales are larger. But this is heavier. They're both a 720 by 720 screen. So you get that 1:1 aspect ratio on both of them. So whereas this is the vertical RGB 30, this is just the R36 Plus. Now let's talk about some things that are obviously wrong with this. And I've been trying to keep it at an angle so you didn't notice yet. But look at the bottom of the screen. No problem here. That is flush. Here, not. Let's see if I can't wipe the fingerprints off a little bit. But you can even see inside behind the screen right there. If I turn it sideways, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but the screen is completely flush up here, and then it slowly rises out to the bottom. Both sides pops all the way out. Look. Problem is it's kind of stiff. I mean, you can still move it a little. See if I can't hold it still. See? You can still push on it a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna sit in there any further. It actually feels like you're gonna fucking break it if you keep pushing on it. It feels like you're gonna crack the screen. And I know the first response, knee-jerk reaction to this type of bullshit is it's a $30 handheld. What did you expect? And I get that reaction, but we shouldn't have that reaction. You paid your hard-earned money for shit like this. At least they could do is check it out and make sure they're not sending you some bullshit like this. Okay? That's unacceptable. I don't give a fuck if this is $10. All right? Nowhere in the advertising did they say, we have a new screen design where the bottom of it pops out and you can see behind it and it lets light bleed out of that like a motherfucker in the dark. That's not a feature. Okay? Don't give a shit if it's $30. That's not okay. All right, let's jump into some. I haven't really tested any games on it yet, so let's see what they got with the built-in card. Big list on Game Boy here. Got some Kirby games, Zelda. Getting ballsy with the Mario games there. game console. I don't think they would. They did. In this day and age, that's a ballsy move, man. So it looks like we get Super Famicom and Super Nintendo, which same shit, just, you know, one is US based. And 64, there's no way they put what I think they put on it. Is there? Once again, getting really ballsy here with these games. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, this shit's gonna get... this is... You guys are dumb. Why not look at all of them and see if they got all the games they shouldn't have? There we go. It's louder but easier. Yep. Couple more Mario games. There they are. Wow, you guys are really asking just to get shut down. Superstar Saga, Advanced, Kart, Double Debt, really? I think that's in the wrong spot. They didn't make a Double Dash for GBA. I mean, that's GameCube. Let's see. Bunch of Mega Man. Sorry, I want to do gameplay, but now I'm just curious how far they went with... Yep. Ultra Mew, Aura Mew distribution, Aurora ticket distribution, Emerald, Fire, Green, Ruby, Sapphire. Wow, you guys are dumb, man. Partners in Time, Mario Kart, Diamond and Black on here for DS. Not smart. I'm scared. 4 games available. Wow, that's some bullshit. On my end of things, I don't give a shit about shipping it with Mario or Pokemon on it. I don't really care about Nintendo's outlook or feelings. I mean, they're definitely not giving a fuck with this handheld and shipping it with whatever. And that's their problem to deal with later. But I care about this. You should not be shipping these handhelds with ports like Stardew Valley on it. That is not okay. And I'm sorry for all of you out there that want that because you may not own an actual copy or know how to set up Portmaster. But no, that's not okay. Given the story of Stardew Valley, how that came to be, and the guy who worked on it, he absolutely deserves your money if you like the game. Okay, when I first originally played Stardew, I pirated that shit. I liked it so much, I actually read about the guy who made it, what he was doing beforehand. I got rid of my pirated copy and immediately went over to Steam and bought a legit copy. He deserved my money. He put effort into that. Which makes me curious. Now, did I see... Okay, oh no, I did. Even more bullshit. You did not put a paid version of Pico 8 on here. That is awful. This is ridiculous. Let me see if I can connect to the Wi-Fi. Give me a second, guys. Obviously, you guys know I can't show me looking or connecting to a Wi-Fi because it reveals too much info about the company I work for. And I don't want to do that. They don't mind that I shoot my videos here, and I don't want that to change. Okay. So, I tried to connect this to Wi-Fi at my house. It would not pick up anything. I know for damn sure here, I have a 2.4 and a 5 gig network broadcasting. I have multiple other test networks broadcasting. Nothing shows up. I have everything enabled for it too, and nothing shows up. So I don't know if, you know, shit like this with the screen popping out. I doubt they tested anything on this before shipping it. It looks like they took a fucking bottle of Elmer's school glue and was like, fucking slap this together, ship that out, $30. Quality is definitely complete shit compared to the regular R36S I picked up. And knowing the qualities like this, I don't think I would trust buying another handheld from these people. This is the second one I've messed with, and it's quality-wise, it's pretty shitty. But let's actually do some game testing, everybody. Let's hit Mega Man 8. It's like popped out right there. See, those are dug in. Beard's looking right today. Anyway, okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the volume buttons on this one are a little more out there. They're popped out. They're not quite set in like this one is. Alright, we got some overlay set up by default, it looks like. Come on, camera. Fucker. Jesus, that got loud fast. So the speaker works. It does look like they have a shitty little screen protector on it. You can see the bubbles right there and like around it. The screen protector does not go edge to edge. It goes up to this corner and then it's, I don't know, like a millimeter off at the top and, well, actually a couple, no, about, see it right there? And that's about all the way around it. You can see that's the edge of it up there and it goes down that side. So that's a shitty little screen protector. I would pull it off, but this is my sponsor's handheld he sent in. He's seen this on a special, picked it up, you know, sent it over to me to test it out. I would yank that off. But honestly, I am scared to death that if I pull this screen protector off, it's going to take the whole damn screen out with it. I'm actually quite terrified that traveling with this is going to cause the screen to pop out. I'm really worried that that adhesive is going to give up. Now, I do have a heat gun. I can pick up some 3M strips or something and try and reattach this. If my sponsor wants me to. I really don't want to do that because I'm not comfortable with this thing at all. I feel like any work would make it worse. Speaking of sponsors, he just messaged me. He wanted to make sure I had a DMG original, like Game Boy DMG, for when the classic shows up. That way we can do a comparison from the classic to the Aya Neo Pocket DMG and the OG Nintendo DMG. Alright, let's get the hell out of there. So PlayStation obviously works fine, like it should. You guys know I like to normally change up the aspect ratio and all that and go into scaling options and like fill the screen as much as I can with these 1:1 aspect ratio screens. I do love doing that with them. That's my favorite part about them. Let's do this. I don't really play Soul Calibur games, but it's not my handheld. He may like it set up differently. If he wanted me to go through and do all the, save all these settings type of bullshit, I would. I'm not a big fan of this D-pad. I really wish I brought my SD card for this. But the SD card I use for this is the same one I use for the RGB30. So if I feel like playing on the RGB30, I just take the SD card out of this, stick it in RGB30, and off I go. And I get to, just continue on any game I'm playing that way. And the last thing I was playing was my RGB30. So I normally sit around and play Top Gear Pocket 2 for Game Boy Color on this because of the screen size and that 1:1. It's like a waste of all that power, but it's awesome to play on a device of this size. Whatever, 765 player one. I don't care. Just get me into the game. Gotta do all this bullshit all the time. Man, my camera is really not liking to stay still today, is it? I know it's because it keeps catching my reflection. Ooh, fuck you, dude. I don't... Kratos is alright, but he's not like the best fucking character in all of existence. I wouldn't use him for a fighting game. Keelik. Well, I'm gonna go to... When I did play this on and off, I used to play Mitsurugi. Quick match. Sorry about the focus, guys. I'm sure it's because the sun's already come up out here and it's reflecting and showing me, and it's trying to focus on that, and I keep moving my hands closer and further away, and the sound is breaking. Did you hear that over me? I didn't see what the warning was. Probably like, please God, turn on frame skip. Okay, that's really bad. I keep almost saying like, oh, that's Dreamcast for you, but that's just PSP. Okay, that sucked ass. I don't really feel like playing Capcom. You know what? I'll play a Capcom game. Or a CPS, I guess. What has this got? Well, that's horrible. Let's play... Turn on some Giga Wing. We're only going to test a couple more games, guys. I'll probably test this out, jump over, go to like Game Boy Color, fuck with the resolution maybe, and then just check out Game Boy Advanced on a screen like this and call it good. PSP, not a good time. I don't really care about N64. It'll more than likely run on here just fine. Just N64 is uncomfortable to play on handhelds. Now, 8-Bit, though, is releasing their N64-styled controller, and I really, really want one of those so bad. If I can get an N64 layout controller from 8-Bit, though, I would probably play the shit out of some N64 games at that point. Okay, can we go? Jesus. Oh, that's right. I gotta add, like, credits. Pressing select to add credits. That'll work. Let's go with color green. Oh yeah, lots of the screen cut off because of that bezel or that overlay. So there'll be things coming in that I can't see. I mean, I could just fly off screen with this shit. So this would need some tweaking. They didn't optimize a fucking thing on this, clearly. I mean, they didn't even, obviously, quality, they didn't check it. They didn't optimize shit. It's a damn shame because, I mean, everybody was like, man, these game consoles are starting to take over because they're ultra cheap and they're awesome. And now you're fucking us on quality. That's the only thing you had going for you. And now you're fucking it up. Let's jump into some Crystallis real quick. I only got a couple more minutes. And then I'm going to have to hop off here anyway. Come on with it. There we go. Let's do this. Let's see what the one-to-one looks like. Oh, wait. Get rid of this stupid ass overlay. Why the fuck did the sound just... It sounded like it was breaking there for a minute on Game Boy Color. So yeah, getting rid of the overlay, stretching these things out, it's what I prefer to do with like Game Boy Color. These screens are really good for that. They're also, like I said in the past, they're really good for PS1. This 720 by 720, I really like it for PS1, Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Color. Those are my absolute favorites. What was I looking for? There it is. Normally, especially with the horizontal one, I normally do 8 by 7 there. That uses up most of the screen. So it looks good. For some reason the sound, I mean, I've played Crystallis many times. It just sounds off. It sounds a little, I don't know, it's like crackling. It sounds broken. Stop fucking focusing on everything. Hello. Yeah, it's a fucking ceiling. Okay, you jackass. DS, you already know, with the vertical screen. You can put, something up there, something down there. Game Boy Advance is not going to look that great, so let's just do DS. Hell, let's do Mario Kart. Do some DS gameplay here. Obviously, they're probably using drastic. Fuck you, focus. Where's it at? Somehow I found the exit button. You stop doing that bullshit. Autofocus is off, by the way, everybody. Really? So even if I change, okay, so now that's stopped. This thing is fucking trash. There's drastic menu. Yeah, this thing is fucking trash. Unoptimized piece of shit. I gotta stop there. Alright. This being my sponsors, I'm about to bounce this motherfucker off a wall. At least then it'll get, some kind of fun for 30 bucks, smashing the ever-living fuck out of it. Most of these problems can be fixed if, you know, if I sit down with it, or my sponsor does, because he's equally as good, if not better, at this shit than I am, and just fucking start over from scratch. New SD card, set it all up from, you know, from jump yourself. It'll fix a lot of these issues. Obviously, it's not going to fix stupid shit like a bad speaker and a bad fucking screen and whatnot. And I mean, you can get into this thing with some tape and quiet buttons down and make them softer. The D-pad's going to suck no matter what. The sticks are just mediocre Switch style sticks. Yeah, there's some things you can fix yourself. Others, you're just, is what it is. So, comparing them, and final thoughts here. 30 bucks versus, I haven't looked at the price of this in a little while, so I don't know if it's 60, 80 bucks anymore. I think they're around 80 at some point. So we'll say 30 bucks, 80 bucks. Jesus, the plastic feels, Powkitty just shits all over this one. The plastic feels better. The D-pad is that, just has that perfect resistance to it. Not too much, not too little. It's not loose in there, but it's easy to hit every button, every diagonal. The switch feel, the little switch style sticks feel like they have a better range of motion. They feel like they click a little bit better. The buttons, these little face buttons are close to the same, but I'm going to be biased here. Powkitty wins that too. Face buttons, Powkitty's face buttons have a better feel. The buttons on the side, the R36 gets that spot because sometimes it's hard to hit volume up or down on the Powkitty because it's recessed in there and this is right on the surface. But that also depends on how you're going to carry it. If you put it in a case, this is fine. If you pocket it, you're probably going to fucking hit the volume button by accident in your pocket. On this side, it's the same thing. These are recessed, these are not. But being that these are power and reset, I prefer the Powkitty setup there. Powkitty has the video out. This does not. Powkitty has the more comfortable back buttons. And I like my USB-C ports above the audio jack. Never thought about that before, but being biased again, and I'm just going to lean into the Powkitty device because it's not all the time a Powkitty device just wins in a comparison. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to give it to the little guy. You got to give it to the underdog. And I know this is the little guy or the underdog in this situation, but typically I'm putting Powkitty up against the likes of Anbernic and Retroid, which you can, yeah. I'm really having trouble talking about Retroid right now. I've been ignoring all the bullshit they're doing. The statement they made about the classics on how they're just going to stop shipping to the U.S. And if you pre-ordered the classic forever ago in these colors, you have to change or cancel your order because we're not shipping to the U.S. And if you have a problem with that, you can contact us at support@fuckretroid.com. Last night in the middle of the night, though, I got an email from Anbernic. Typical email they probably sent to everybody. It was about the tariffs. Anbernic said, we don't know what this is going to do in the long run. To avoid any issues, all you Anbernic customers, please order out of our U.S. warehouse because prices won't be affected in there. We don't know what it's going to do to the overseas stuff. If you have an order already placed with us, we're going to fulfill that. Shouldn't be an issue. Not going to stop. We're going to fulfill those orders. Already doing it better than Retroid. And at the end of the email, they said some shit along the lines of, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to work with this and how to keep doing this. Retroid said, nope, we don't want to lose any money. No. Fuck you, customers. Anbernic's like, we'll work it out. We have a U.S. warehouse already. Maybe we'll bulk ship a bunch of shit to the U.S. warehouse and you guys can buy from there. Once again, I just fucking love Anbernic. You know what I mean? They've never done me wrong. And I already knew they had a U.S. warehouse. I hate the fact that it's still $20 shipping out of the U.S. warehouse, but with the tariff thing, I'm no longer going to bitch about $20 shipping. All right, back to this, guys. And you can, everything I just said about Retroid and Anbernic, you could look up. I just don't want to give Retroid any more spotlight. I don't. Okay, I'm tired of them. You know, it felt like I decided to give them another chance and picked up the RP5 and shit was going great. And I was like, man, Retroid just completely turned it around. And then now it's just been one fuck you to your customers after the other. And I know someone in here is going to be like, but it's the tariffs that's doing it. Fuck you, dude. I mean, I get why my country's doing that. I do. Okay? When it comes to like trade shit, we kind of get shit on there. And if companies like Retroid don't want to lose out on an entire country worth of sales, they need to fucking get a warehouse over here. And they need to ship their stuff over here, put them together over here, whatever. Start shipping them in pieces. See if that lands into a different category, which I don't even get into that. But Anbernic already has a U.S. warehouse. They've had it for years. They're not stupid. All these other companies are probably like Anbernic, you're dumb for having a U.S. warehouse. Yeah, look who's laughing now. Because I will absolutely still order Anbernic shit because the prices shouldn't change. Especially anything coming out of the U.S. warehouse. And it looks like Anbernic is going to eat most of the cost going to the U.S. warehouse. You might see a small bump in that. But I bet you they figure out a way around it. And the U.S. warehouse is where you're going to want to order from. All right, guys. So, final conclusion. Sorry, you know me, I get sidetracked. It's part of my whole thing here. And you already know my feelings that if me getting sidetracked is annoying to you, say it with me now. Fuck off. Watch something else. Anyway. So between the two, 30 bucks, 80 bucks. I already did this, once or twice. This is a piece of shit. This is a horrific piece of shit. The speaker sucks. The screen sucks. D-pad sucks. Back buttons suck. Sticks suck. Face buttons, all that sucks. Not too bad depending on the scenario with the volume button on the side. Quality sucks. They put shit they shouldn't have, like Sploor and Stardew on it. So they can kiss my ass there. I've never been able to get it to connect to a Wi-Fi. It won't even pick one up. So that sucks. What else? Yeah. This is... right here, they should have just relabeled this as bag of dicks, because that's all you got when you buy this is a horrific piece of shit. Pal Kitty, you take the cake on this. I love the blue shell whiteboard. I mean, I've never been a super big fan of these knobby ass back buttons, but compared to that piece of shit, these are like the most amazing shoulder buttons ever compared to that. I mean, even your D-pad compared to that feels like the best D-pad in the world. So, Pal Kitty, I still love you as the budget option. You guys are doing great. I know you don't really step out of your comfort zone, but I still love you guys. All right, I'm hopping the hell off here. Get in the comments if you guys have ordered like this R36 Plus or whatever, or one of these R36s, and you've had the same issues with like the screens popping out and whatnot, go in the comments. Let me know if this is typical of this shit. Because like I said, I've ordered one before. It was perfectly fine. I was actually amazed at the price and the quality, and everything was great. This one, I am really shocked at how bad this one is. So let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious here. And yeah, if you guys don't know, look on AliExpress right now. They got a bunch of sales. Rust, Retro Game Core posted like sell prices. So there's a bunch of different stuff you can get for cheap. And I would probably try and knock that out right now, especially if you're in the US. All right, guys, go to the comments. If I can, I will try to do a weekend video since I missed the Tuesday video due to things outside my control. So I'll do my best. Now, my weekends are family time. So I'm not going to shortchange them for a video. I love you guys, but I love them more. Okay? That'll never change. My channel will never take priority. They will. But if I get a chance and everything and all is quiet and there's something exciting, I'll make up that Tuesday video this weekend. Or I just won't ever make it up and you can fucking deal. All right, guys, thanks for watching this 40-minute long video, and I will see you in the next episode, possibly Monday.